Have you guys ever heard of 37U football? It's the type of Yeah, that's one person. It's the type of football that people play. Wait, it's time to record.
No.
No. Oh, never mind then. Thanks for watching. Don't look at the belly. Have you guys ever wondered what those people who peaked in high school do instead of slow pitch softball? Well, they do slow pitch softball, but they also play tackle football. Now, I didn't realize that this was a legitimate thing until a few years ago when one of my coworkers told me that he was going to go try out for a football team. You schmuck. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss on here, guys. That was a little inappropriate. I'm sure some of you have seen the videos of people running around looking like they're 40 or 50 years old playing tackle football, getting... One of these days, I'm just going to leave a video uncut so you guys can kind of hear how many times I have to get my sentence cut off and restarted. Because she really likes to interrupt. What if I put these on the ground over here? And I put you over here. But I'm sure you've seen those videos, and I'll go ahead and throw a few up here just to give you guys a little input. But there's a lot of people who are old who still think they're good at playing tackle football, and it's actually been really amusing as I've kind of dove into this rabbit hole a few years ago, and I really want to share it with you because I think you're going to find it interesting. Apparently not. There are some very interesting characters who come around. Now, I wanted to explain this in 3 different parts. I wanted to explain the stereotype of what 37U football is, share that love with you, tell you what 37U football is actually like, and then tell you what 37U football is trying to be, because those are all 3 very, very separate things. Kind of unfortunately, maybe 37U, more like 37, you better get a job. 37U people all subscribe to this, to the Phil Smith YouTube channel, by the way. Did you know that? I'm gonna try to... Whoa! You falled over. Big L, buddy. So in case you didn't know, 37U football is more commonly known, or I guess less commonly known, but more officially known as semi-pro football. It's a league, or there's multiple leagues across the United States and probably beyond, where a pretty much is like getting together to go play soccer or baseball or soft pitch soft, but obviously you could probably understand that playing an 11-on-11 full tackle football game is incredibly hard to just get people to come together and do. So people began to create leagues where you would buy your own gear, you would get all your stuff, you'd show up, create a team, and then come and compete in the league. She's back. So people created these leagues individually, and what it is a lot of people with a lot of egos. The stereotype online is that you get people who take the game way too seriously, who are yelling and yapping, showing up half dressed, and then but kind of running and yelling and yapping and have a horrible time, making everybody's life worse, while at the same time taking the game way too seriously. And it's a fantastically funny stereotype, but here's the reality of what actually happens and goes on within a 37U league, and more specifically a team. Now again, I've been playing 37U football for a couple years. This would be my 3rd year if I was playing, but you know, I realized I'm old and I tore my ACL, which is a very, very common thing to happen actually in 37U, to nobody's surprise, because we're all out of shape to a dramatic extent. We are all holding on to a leftover high school and college level athleticism that we had, and there's nothing really to add to that. But the type of people that you get out are a mix of 3 different types of people. Type number 1 is the exact stereotype that you see and is probably the most commonly known, and sadly makes up a decent chunk of the population in 37U semi-pro football. It is the type of people who still think they're in their prime and think that they are going to go play pro or college or D1 football, and they have the attitude of that. They genuinely think that they are good enough to go play somewhere else, but the reality of the situation is that if you're playing in a made-up 37U semi-pro league that you have to pay to play in, by the way, you're not good enough to play D1, and you're not good enough to go to the next level. There are a slight minority. There's one guy in our league, one guy who started in our league and then worked his way from that to an arena league because they had scouts come to our games, and now is playing professionally for an arena league team. There are a few other guys who have at least played Arena League, but, you know, they weren't good enough. Just being point blank honest with them, because, because if they were good enough, they wouldn't have come back to semi-pro, and the arena teams that they were on would re-sign them, because you don't get paid in semi-pro 37U, by the way. But if they were good enough, they would have been re-signed, and I've seen a few of them, and a lot of them play one game and then get cut, which means that you're just not good enough to keep on playing at the next level up. So that's the first level of people that you see. Second level are people who just take the game too seriously. Now this is obviously a large part of the people in the first level as well, but these people know they're not making it to the next level, but yet they still treat it too seriously. What I mean by that is that, here's have another distraction. I love it when you're up here. You're such a great kid and I love you to death. But good golly, Miss Molly, you just like to get into everything, and I have so many things on my desk that you just can't get into. Nope. Back on the shoulders you go. In timeout zone. They take the game too seriously, but yet they understand that they aren't going to be playing at the next level in any capacity. They're just people who are generally too competitive. It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, and these are the people that I would love to be the extreme of aggressiveness, because you know what? I'd rather have someone show up and play with their heart out and maybe yap a little bit too much, but at the end of the day be able to walk home and be like, oh, it's semi-pro. No one really cares about it. But, you know, they kind of get a little loud. There's so much trash talking in semi-pro football. It's actually just embarrassing, to be honest. I don't know why, but the thing that I hear the most is like, you're gonna let them disrespect you like that? And I had to say something back. They were being disrespectful. I'm about to say something to you because you're being disrespectful. Boop. Okay, well, that shut me up. And then the third group of people is people like myself, and I'm not like trying to say this in an arrogant way. People who love playing but also understand that this is going to be just something for the fun of it. I'm not expecting to get anything out of it. I'm okay with playing, but just playing simply for the love of the game, and that's it. Wow, you are tired. Should I put you down for a nap? Is it nap time? Do you see yourself on there? Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
The reality of it is that everyone who plays participates in their own way, and you can't really have one without the other. Hey, take that back. You can't have one without... Oh, I'm keeping this in. This is going to be a good memory for me. But you can definitely have one player without the other. But the point is that regardless, I appreciate the fact that people show up with the spirit to play the game at the highest level they possibly can, even if they're not good enough to play at the next level. But what is the goal of actual semi-pro football? Well, I'm with an organization. We're called the I-5 Cobras. We're called the I-5 Cobras. I did it again. We're called the I-5 Cobras, and it's an organization that, again, I've been with for 3 years. But the goal of the organization... Oh, she is wiped out. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta put her to bed. But I play for a team called the I-5 Cobras, and we are a collection of guys from the I-5 corridor. And the goal of the team is to be able to provide an opportunity for people who want to continue to play football, but at the same time do so in a way where it's not just show up and leave, but it's show up, grow not just on the field, but as a man as well, and then try to do so, or try to compose yourself in a way during games that is respectable. And so far, we're known largely as the most sportsman team in the league. Now again, that may not be completely correct, but that is just what other coaches and players have told us after the games that we've played against them. But the point is that you don't just show up, get a couple plays on a wristband, jog out, do your thing, and then leave. And there is a team camaraderie as well, to the point where it's like, when I've been gone this year because I'm taking things slow because of my knee, and also I've got a kid now, my coaches still reach out at random times just to check in and see how I'm doing. And that is something that doesn't just come from your slow pitch softball league that you show up. Now keep in mind, I literally only knew one guy before I joined the team, my coworker, and I've since built good bonds with everyone else on the team. Which, by the way, unrelated to anything league-wise, but did you know? You didn't know. But on the I-5 Cobras page, there's actually a bunch of highlight videos and stuff that's put out. I actually do all of that, even while playing. I have my brother record things with this camera that I'm using right now, different lens, but we record things, then I go back and I edit them to try to make highlight videos for everyone. So I'll link the channel down below if you want to go check it out. And this year, actually, which the season starts early April, but mid-April is our first home game, and I will be doing all the live broadcasting for those. So if you want to tune into a game and see your boy yapping on the mic, maybe looking a little more professional, maybe not. I haven't decided yet, but we will be doing that as well. So anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to yap about 37U football because it's something that you see a lot, and it's something that is dear to my heart because I play 37U football and I'm not very good at it. Like and subscribe. This is Phil Smith coming in postpartum to be able to deliver some news that I forgot to deliver earlier. It's that I didn't mention that the skill level in semi-pro football is a range from largely, let's say, D3 to D2 athletes tops. If anyone played D1, they definitely weren't starting and definitely didn't stay there all 4 years. But that's the top end of the talent, and then the bottom end of the talent is people who have never played tackle football before. I'm talking my brother-in-law, who actually just joined, and he has never played tackle football in his entire life. Like, seriously, never played football other than a couple turkey bowls, and he's playing actually pretty good too. So anyway, I thought people would want to know that, and no one gets paid. Back to the regularly scheduled part of the edit now. Bye.